What's the news? Yes. Okay. So for those of you that rely on me, and I normally don't miss a day, but we did. This is what you missed. Report Liquid to bring back Twistzz. You knew early? I did. I knew that this. So this was. I mean, let me see if it says in the article, but this was before the finals. Like 2 days before the finals, I heard about this. Twistzz, who's just coming off the IM Sydney, was also in talks with Vitality at the same time. However, Dusty understands riflers go not European outfit and instead return to the org. That it became an international sensation. Overall, I think this roster is really interesting. To somebody saying they're not sold on skulls, I think for sure he's got to be the most. He's the biggest gamble of the roster, right? But what I will say is Skulls is really freaking good. I'm not as familiar with Skulls' playstyle, and like I feel like I've seen him play different roles. He's definitely more star player type vibe. Yeah, I've kind of just seen him play everywhere, like when he's been on Pain mostly. Like I think when it comes to Liquid as a whole, I think Skulls has got to be the biggest like question mark. I just don't know how good his English is. It might sound stupid, but I feel like that's just literally the biggest determining factor on his success or not. Like the less he has to think or do anything when it comes to calming in English, the better this will be. I mean, Zeus, for those of you that, I mean, Zeus is perfect English. I mean, Katie, and obviously, like, you have a fantastic entry. You have Naf, who I assume is going to probably go back to his anchor roles. And I think I'm kind of curious to see what happens here, though. Like I said, I don't know enough about Skulls. I feel like I've seen him anchor positions, but I don't want to say that for sure. So it's going to be interesting between Twistzz, Skulls, and Yekender, like where people play. Why didn't FaZe try to stick? I'm not sure. I actually, even though I heard about it like kind of early chat, I don't know like the full motivations as to why Twistzz didn't want to try to make FaZe work. But okay, for those of you that are a little unfamiliar, let's lay the groundwork. Okay, FaZe is being bought by the same parent company as Complexity. Complexity will have to drop one of the rosters. If you are Complexity, you're not dropping the current Cole roster. They're playing well. They fit the brand, the entire identity of the organization. And last and most importantly, you could sell the FaZe players. You won't be able to sell. If I'll be able to sell Twistzz, I don't know if I can sell Floppy. Jason Lake said he's never leaving NA. Well, then, yeah, then I was gonna get to that. Was gonna be my very last point, but I feel like this is what always happens in these scenarios. When it's not like it happens all the time, but when you have like a roster that's basically just for sale, it's not that people don't think all the players are incredibly talented. It's just that like no one org necessarily just wants to pick up right where another org left off if they're not ready to. The amount of bankroll you would need to like sign the entire FaZe roster to a brand new org. And then that's the other thing is like when these situations happen, people rethink things, right? They might have all been incredibly happy to stay on FaZe for years to come, but also when things like this like make you reevaluate, you sometimes think about things again. FaZe, those players, I guarantee you every individual player in FaZe right now has at least one tier 1 offer, if not multiple. So they're all going to be like, yeah, we want to stick together, simultaneously find a fifth for Twistzz. And when multiple of them are getting offers that I imagine will be quite hard to say no to, they have to find somebody that's going to sign the entire org. So this is just kind of the shitty reality that we live in, man. It sucks that it happened right when CS2 came out too, because as I think we can all tell, like FaZe was once again motivated again. I mean, I think Twistzz is definitely going to Liquid, but when it comes to the remaining roster, it would be cool to see like Frozen go in there and then see that project continue, but I don't know if it will, man. If for that to happen, an org is going to have to come in. You're nervous Kaden isn't going to sign with Liquid? I don't know. We just got to wait and see. Would it not make more sense to keep the FaZe brand as opposed to the Cole brand and competitive play? Nah. FaZe coming into esports is literally what tanked that brand to begin with, to be honest with you. Not that their esports teams didn't do well, it's that FaZe literally doesn't, like, they don't know what they are. That's kind of what got them in really deep shit, along with them having investors trying to pump and dump the stock. Trop, thanks for the 10-month primer. Esports is shit, chat. It's a bad business and we should all just appreciate watching it while we got it. I don't think it's going anywhere necessarily, but it's a shit business. It's pennies on the dollar compared to overall content creation. It's just it's bad. Like, you'd have more FaZe fans than the Cole brand, maybe. You just don't need FaZe to be in esports. Like, that's like, FaZe is gonna be more valuable creating content, having the creators that they do, like, than esports teams. Esports should tour like a circus. I mean, have you looked at the Counter-Strike circuit?